I see a bad moon rising. I see trouble on the way.
If you guys are interested in the wine that we use in this video, it is 7 Moons because that's so fitting, and it's actually 7 Moons dark side. Ooh. So dark side of the moon, which felt very fitting for a new moon.
The cork is black.
The cork is black. Oh, that's so great. 7 grape varieties because 7 moons with a lush mouthfeel. That's all it says. A lush mouthfeel is a flavor.
A lush
mouthfeel.
What a compliment.
Oh, wow. Cheers. What? Glug, 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 glug. Just enjoy it. Don't complain. Glug, 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 glug. I'm going to spill this all over my white.
That's going to drip on you.
This is a hori-hori and you didn't get enough. Oh, now you got a lot. It's fine. It's fine. And we just keep going. Did you ever, when you were young, did you ever have like your grandparents or your parents cut your bangs? And in order to like get them straight, they'd have to like go up and up and up, and then you were just left with no freaking bangs. Okay. Cheers to having bangs that work or no bangs at all.
Learn to cut them yourself because everyone else will screw them up.
Cheers! Happy new moon!
Happy new moon,
Happy new
you guys.
moon, babes!
Ooh.
That is lush in my mouth. I see you, 7 Moons. I see what you're doing.
That's good.
Hey, Moonbabes!
Welcome back!
I'm Bree.
I'm Jackie.
And it is almost a new moon. If you guys are watching this right when we posted it, the new moon is coming up. Mm-hmm. We actually filmed this video on last month's new moon, so we wanted to film when all the energy was fresh.
We're in the spirit.
Yes, totally in the spirit right now. We're feeling it all like up in our bodies right now. So we're filming this in July of 2020, but you're watching it for a new moon, August 2020. Sure.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, but really, have you been feeling the absolute, like, tornado of craziness?
Yes. And I don't know that it's even necessarily just the new moon, but I think with everything that's going on, it just, like, culminates in these big events, right? So I'm sure the next full moon in a couple weeks, everybody watch out, right? Like, the world is going to be on fire at that point. I have no idea.
I keep picturing, just based on how I'm feeling right now.
The purge.
Well, yes. But, you know, we're made up of, like, 1,000,000% water. Don't fact check me on that. And
80.
It's like 80. 85. 1 million.
I don't know.
But I picture, like... So, like, the moon is affecting the tides. It's going like this. I just picture all of us just being, like, whipped back and forth all over the place. Like,
because
that is how I feel.
Tide is something serious. It's like, what is that movie with the giant waves? You know what I mean? It's like, what's the end of the world?
With
Jake
snow?
Gyllenhaal.
With the snow.
Yes. But we're
Day
the
After
wave
Tomorrow.
with Day After Tomorrow, we're the giant wave. It's like, that's exactly how I think everyone is feeling.
Yes.
Even people who are not into, you know, like, metaphysical stuff,
right.
Or people who are not studying moon stages or
we
not watching
see you
videos.
Feeling that way. You might not know, but we see it.
Yes, everybody. Like, it's just causing so much anger and resentment and stress, and people are just... Everyone's emotions are at 1,000% right now. Mm-hmm. And, but I feel like I tried last night to really harness some of the new moon's energy and use all that emotion and all that, like, pent up, like, stress and energy to sit and focus and try to transform what I was doing into something more purposeful.
I love that.
I'm not kidding. I walked the dogs outside and it was like midnight because I couldn't sleep, because every time there's a new moon or a full moon, I feel like I can't sleep. Like, I'm up all night. It just gives me a certain type of energy. It's weird.
I had very vivid dreams last night.
Yeah. But so
Scary
I took the dogs
dreams.
out. No, what?
No, it's fine.
Really?
Well, the house is haunted, so who knows?
We'll post a video on Jackie's haunted mansion.
But anyways, you were out at midnight, brave.
Yes. So I know I took the dogs out to go to the bathroom.
Hopefully with your taser. Crazy.
No, the dogs are big enough.
That's true.
They're big enough.
A million.
No one needs
dogs.
to know that they're total wimps. No one needs to know. But so I took them out to go to the bathroom before we went to sleep. And so I was out there and it was just me. And of course it's super dark because it's a new moon, right? So there's no light showing at all. And the breeze was blowing and it was much cooler than it has been. And even though it's July, which is like the hottest part of the summer here in Texas, and it still wasn't a hot breeze. It was much cooler and it was much stronger. And I just felt like I kept looking around, and it's not that I was scared. I know it's midnight, but it's not that I was scared. But I just felt like an energy of change in the air. And that seems cheesy,
that's amazing.
but if you've ever felt it, you know what I'm feeling. You know, like
it's wordless. Like you just feel it, like building in you.
Looking around, and I'm like, okay, I don't need to be scared. Like, I just need to know that things are changing. And we, you know, if you've watched our other videos or if you haven't, go watch it. But Winds of Change is a really good one where we talk about all this. But there's no getting away from it right now. So you might as well harness some energy and try to set your intentions and decide what road you want to go down.
Yeah.
And just go with it.
And not base it in fear. I think right now, I mean, I'm just speaking for myself, but I think this goes for a lot of people, is just, and that was one of my new moon intentions, was to stop. It's okay to feel afraid, and you can't always stop that, but to stop making choices and reacting out of feeling fearful.
Yeah.
Because then I feel like you're being just pigeonholed into a place that you don't belong.
Right.
And it doesn't feel good.
Right. But if you don't embrace it, like there's no stopping everything that's happening. So if you don't embrace it, then you have to still go down this path. Like you have to continue with the world the way that it is. So if you don't decide to do it on your own, you're pushed that way, you're forced that way, and you are on the giant wave in day after tomorrow, just like, oh shit.
And then you'll
just
end up feeling victimized.
Right, exactly.
You know, like whenever you feel like I didn't have a choice in this, and it's like, well, some of these things you won't, but it's again like the cliche, but you do have a choice but you can change your perspective, and it changes everything to say like, okay, well, but what do I choose to feel, or how do I choose to view this?
Exactly. Like I'm the one who's deciding where I'm going in this situation, and instead of being forced that way, like I'm embracing that change.
Yes.
Which I feel is a little bit repetitive to some of our other videos, but
I think that's just something that, I mean, I know I struggle with that on a daily basis right now, and just feeling so helpless. So I think saying like, okay, well, I'm not going to let fear rule like these changes, or like you're talking about things where you're choosing to change it. So it's like, what choices am I making and changes am I making? And you know what? It might be a hard road.
Yeah.
It might be a long road.
Yeah, but if this is what I genuinely, if this is the road I really want to go down, then this is what I'm going to strive for.
Then try and stop me.
Yeah, exactly. And that's totally what I was doing last night, because it just was like, I don't know. I've been going really back and forth. If you guys have been keeping up with our videos, you know I'm like, do I buy a house? Do I move? Do I like it? There's all these things that are happening. And I just have not been sure which road I want to go down. So last night I was like, it's a new moon. I have to set some sort of intention instead of just wandering blindly, right? Because that's what the new moon is all about, right? It's not a time for doing, it's a time for planning. And then over the next couple weeks, you want to really make sure that you're striving for what you planned and actively focusing and going down that road. And then at the full moon, you want to make sure that you look back and see how far you've come. So
you get to revisit it. I think writing it down, like really writing it down, like pen and paper on something. So not to say like you have to set it out where you see it every day, but then when you come back to it, it's the same as like when you look at stuff you wrote as a kid, you come back to it and you're like, wow, I can't believe that was me. Or you can say, whoa, I didn't know I would come that far. Or maybe I slacked off and I should have, you know, had more drive. But like not as a negative thing, but just like I'm gonna push.
Right. Well, writing it down makes you keep yourself motivated, right? Because you don't want to in the next couple weeks look back and be like, oh shit, I wrote that down and I didn't do anything to get there. Like that just like solidifies it in your own mind, which is why even teachers are like, hey, you learn better by writing it down. Like please take notes. Right. Yes. I don't know, do kids take notes nowadays? Write in your iPad, write in your phone. But you retain it better, and it just makes you take it more seriously when it's like physically put out into the universe.
I believe that. Write it down, say it out loud.
Tell your
I think it
friends, have
matters.
them hold you accountable, right?
Friends
like,
that you trust.
Yes, exactly. But like I texted you and I was like, I'm doing it. I'm dead set on getting a house. And if that means I have to sign a couple months of month-to-month lease here in my apartment, then that's what that means.
Right.
But I am determined to get a house.
Yes.
So I'm
And
like,
that's
hold me
true.
accountable.
Because then when you're like, wait, I feel like this, and I'll be like, well, remember, like right now your goal is this.
Right.
Do you remember?
Yes.
Let me screenshot
Thank
that text
you.
for you. Let me
Thank
just
you.
scroll down through the. Oh, here it is.
True friends. So what did you do for the new moon?
So for the new moon, I didn't do a huge ritual. I feel like I was having issues feeling distracted. So whereas you were feeling like very like powerfully focused, so I kind of settled on more of like an activity based thing so that I could see like a result sooner. So I decided that I would, because I've been really interested in yoga, that I was going to start the beginner's phase so I can get to like the advanced stage, because I really like the idea that I can take, you know, like I love doing like fitness and like physical stuff, but then being able to meld the two together seems so great to me.
With your mental health.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
So
that's great.
that was my intention, is to start.
Okay, and so that's perfect. Like, I have a lot going on in my life right now, and a lot is up in the air which direction I'm going. And you don't. You are definitely more stable, and you have some stuff, but you are more stable as far as where you live, as far as your relationship, as far as your job. And so you have your concrete pillars already built.
Yeah.
And so that's perfect. It's not that
pillars.
you didn't do anything intense for the new moon. You really didn't need to, but you wanted to pick up a hobby and you set a new goal for yourself.
Yeah.
And that's perfect. Like, it doesn't have to be some like life deciding factor. So as this new moon is coming up and you guys are watching this, just take a couple minutes of your time. Like, literally sit down with yourself and be like, I'm going to take 15 minutes to decide what I feel like doing, how I feel like bettering myself in the next couple weeks.
That's great. Yeah. It's a spectrum.
Oh yeah.
And I think you're right, because everybody's in different places. And like we always talk about, you had talked about like the pillars.
Yeah.
Like your pillars of family, friends, work, relationships.
If you guys don't know this analogy, it's such a good one to look at. So if you think of your life in pillars, you are this building, right? And you need multiple pillars to hold you up. Your pillars are your foundation. And if one of them starts to crumble, you need strong pillars in the other areas to make sure that you still stay up above and that you don't fall over with the whole structure. So when we're talking pillars, we're talking like family is one pillar, friends are one pillar, job is one pillar. So
and I would even say self. So like having that strong sense of self and self-love and acceptance.
That's probably the strongest
I
pillar.
hadn't even for some reason thought of that. Like, I mean, I guess that's
well,
your like
so
base level.
you could create whatever is important to you, right? But you kind of have to categorize it. So say somebody has all these strong pillars, right? And then they lose their job. That job pillar has crumbled and they have to figure out how to replace it and build it back up with a new job or maybe a new career choice, whatever it is. But they have these other pillars in place to keep them stable and to keep them grounded. The problem comes when you've let all of your pillars go and you're starting to topple because you don't have anything that you can like rely on.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So
I love that, and like that is such a good
I think about that all the time.
Ever since you said that, I think about it a lot too, and I think it's kind of reassuring too, because you can say, oh, well, it feels like my life is falling apart, but then you can actually visualize and say, no, I still have these pillars.
It's just this pillar that's falling apart, and that happens.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
and
just wear and tear from
you will
life.
only have your self pillar left, and sometimes that one feels very shaky, but you can also build back up from that. Sometimes it's just because you need to like build your pillars out of a new, stronger material.
Yeah,
and start back
exactly.
over.
Sometimes
It's
you just
okay.
gotta upgrade that house of yours.
We all hit rock bottom sometimes, and there's a way back.
Right, and rock bottom is what happens when you have exhausted all your pillars.
Right.
Seriously, and you just completely fall down, and you gotta build yourself back up.
Well, the universe was like,
shut
you didn't need those pillars.
Them all.
Wrong pillars. Just
enjoy
kidding.
the ground for a second. The universe would never do something like that.
I'm not in that kind of spirit, no, but like more of just like, I love you so much.
Maybe you're getting too big for your britches. That's a very southern saying, but you're getting too high up and you're thinking you're above everybody else, and it just needs to knock you down a little bit, you know? But Regardless, enjoy this new moon that's coming up. Make sure that you set some intentions for yourself. Doesn't have to be something big, but if you are contemplating a big life decision, now is the time to think about it.
Oh, yeah.
So just spend a little bit of time with yourself. Get to a quiet area. Get yourself in the zone. Light a candle or take a bath or just do whatever you need to do. But enjoy it. New moon's coming up, and it's definitely powerful.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So we will see you guys next time. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye, Moonbabes.
Hey, and you're you, and I'm me, and then, hey, what's up?
Can we be each other?
We are all one, after all.
We are. We're all the same energy.
Don't let them divide us into subgroups. We're all one.
Let's not get into politics. You seen the video with the little girl and she's like, her mom's like, how's the food? She's like, good. That's me when people are talking about politics at work. And I'm like,
yes, they bring it.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Your subject matter makes me want to vom. Okay.
So new moon.
If you close your eyes, the circle light makes all sorts of circle lights everywhere.
It's a bunch of new moons.
It's like eclipses.
You're right. There it is.
Oh
I'm
my
like, why
gosh.
are you looking at me like that?
I'm
You're
like,
like,
because all I see is circle lights.
The right men like your insides.
Oh.
Well, not like that. No, like your soul.
I want someone to
like your
lick my
soul.
nose.
Your soul.
And my nose.
Well, yeah. He should think your nose is the best nose in the world.
Better only be looking at my nose.
So would you? Oh, would you look at
You
that
looking at
hoe's
her
nose?
You looking at hoe's nose? Oh my god, I'm so weird, okay. Some
What
of this
were
you're
we
gonna have
talking
to cut
about?
out.
I
Some of this you're
know.
gonna have to cut out. I'm just babbling like a crazy bitch.
I'm getting so sweaty.
Is it hot?
No, it's just because I'm
Nervous?
getting nervous. Yeah.
My pits are sweaty too. That's why I'm in this
start getting-
oversized shirt. I'm just living life. Make my own money and we drink it every night.
It's like a money infused tea. She's like,
Yeah.
we make our money and we drink it.
Do you guys know
every
the power
night.
of money infused tea?
Products coming soon.
I'm sure this will fix your life in a matter of 24 hours. Miracle product just discovered.
We'll laugh.
Go around tonight. It's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon